Hey everybody, how are you doing? Today I'm going to be talking about common injuries and how to avoid them when you're on your spin bike. So if you've gone out and bought a spin bike and you're loving your indoor cycling, fantastic. There are some things that can make your life a lot easier as you get on, and maybe you've already noticed that you're having little sore spots. First of all on the sits bone, perhaps your wrists or your elbows, your neck and your shoulders are sore, your lower back, your knees, your feet. So those are the areas pretty much head to toe that can get injured, or you may get overuse syndrome if you're not careful with your setup, first of all, and you can go back to a previous video that talks about proper setup. And then there's form and technique. So I'll be talking about that today and how to avoid injuries. So it's a good thing to really listen to this and to really watch yourself. Set up a mirror, perhaps. If you don't have a mirror, set up the bike in front of the mirror so you can really watch yourself while you're doing these different drills. So I'm going to get on my bike, and I've got it set up just right how I like it, how I feel good on it. I have an almost full extension of my legs. If you have knee issues, so going to the knees first. Knee issues, my knees have been bugging me, the front of my knees are bugging me. A big part of that could be how you're set up. So go over that again, because if you're too far forward, there's too much pressure on the patella and you're loading your quads versus glutes, hamstrings, and the core, which is really, really important as well. So if you're too far forward, not a good thing. And the same thing if you're too far back. So I'm pedaling at a fairly easy pace here. And I'm noticing, and perhaps you've noticed, and if not, that's awesome. But everybody's perineum gets noticed. So the perineum is a fancy word for your undercarriage. So undercarriage being layman's terms for your sexual organs right through to the anus. So you can protect those with bike pants. Order yourself bike shorts or padded bike pants specifically for riding. That helps. I personally have never really liked the feeling of the pad there, but it is something that now that I'm cycling almost every single day, I'm going to go out and get myself a pair, and I'll give you guys a review on that as well. Right now I'm just wearing tight fitting clothing, which is a really good idea, because if you're wearing baggy clothes, they could get caught up in all different areas of your ride, and that's kind of bothersome, can also lead to injuries. So tight fitting clothing. Now you don't want the seat too far upward tilted, because that's going to put a lot of pressure in that perineum. You don't want to have it too far down, because then you might slide forward. You want to have it just straight, and you want to sit towards the end of the seat. So most indoor cycles have a little more padding and are a little bit wider than your typical road cycle seat. So, it's something you have to kind of get used to. So a little bit of a suck it up buttercup situation. So after a couple of weeks, it gets better and better, I promise. And the knees, with the knees, you want to make sure that your cadence is not too easy. That's not really good, especially when you're standing. It's actually dangerous. So if you have low cadence standing, you're going to spin out really fast. You have no control over the pedals. You could hyperextend your knees. It's not good. So always make sure that you have enough resistance on when you're standing, especially when you're standing. Too little resistance when you're pedaling fast in the seat. First of all, it's not working very hard, and it kind of is counterproductive. But too fast in the seat, your RPMs are going, and you're bouncing around in the seat. That's going to hurt your perineum. It's also not great for your knees or your lower back. So, how to avoid lower back pain? Next on the list. Shoulders are back. Think about the core. You keep a nice core, tight. It's hard to think about it, and as you're going through the motions of your class and you're watching some great instructor, it's really hard to always think about it. But if you notice while you're cycling through the class, you start to round out the shoulders, your head drops, your lower back is rounding, your discs are compressing. It's not good. So right away, pull the shoulder blades back, straighten your spine, engage the core, and your back should feel more relieved. Handlebar height too. If you have previous back injury, it's okay to have the handlebars a little higher, just not too high, because you do want to work the core and you do want to have the right bicycle position. So going lower than your seat is probably not a good idea because, again, it's too easy to just round out. So I always like my handlebars sort of at seat height. I tend to hold them here, and these ones curve up a bit. So it lines up with my seat, and it works well for me. You want to make sure that you have enough room to have a soft bend in the elbow. If your handlebars are too close, you're going to feel cramped. And again, you're going to round out that spine. It's going to cause problems if you're in this position for long periods of time. So that's the best that I can tell you with regards to keeping your core tight and avoiding back injury. So try not to round out the spine. I see it a lot. People are reaching forward like this. They have their shoulders rounded. So if you see yourself in the mirror, your lower back is rounded out and you're like this, not good. You don't want to have that happen. So take the shoulder blades back. Keep your neck in line with the spine. Don't let it hang. That's a 25-pound bowling ball. Not a good idea. And again, if you have your handlebars too far forward, you got your head down, or even if you're crooking your neck up, it's just going to cause a lot of tension and tightness in your shoulders and your traps, in the back of your neck. So again, get that right position. Elbows stay in. You're not on a mountain bike, you're on a spin bike. Try to keep your elbows in, even as you get out of the seat. You want to have enough resistance. Not too much though, you can have sore knees from going too high a resistance too soon. So, you're out of the seat, and one leg pulls and pushes. So come down on the front, push down, pull back, push down, pull back. So you're using the entire rotation. Your legs are working, not just your quads. Think about keeping your butt over the seat rather than up tall. This is another one I see a lot. You're cycling along, you have no hip flexion, a lot of pressure on the knees. You've got to have that hip flexion. So you're using your legs. All right? And again, another big thing I see is out of the seat and over the handlebars. All the weight is on the handlebars. So now you're getting such an upper body workout and your legs are not doing hardly anything. You're going to tire really quickly. Your upper body is going to get tired, your upper back, and your arms and your shoulders. So you always want to make sure you're pretty much tapping the seat. You get used to it as you go around. So last but not least, hands and wrists. Do not sit on your handlebars for the entire class like this without a stiff wrist. If you're bending your wrist, the pressure that goes into the wrist is phenomenal. Do not do that, especially when you get out of the seat. So keep your wrists stiff if you need to keep your hands here. I prefer having my hands on the side. Keep a nice easy grip. 0-0 death grip. Do not hold on to the handlebars like they are going to run away from you. That's super hard on the hands. So nice soft grip. And when you're out of the seat, again, you keep yourself back. you don't put the pressure on your wrists and your upper body. Keep yourself back. Just like this. And then you're down. You could have an overuse syndrome. I had it too on my right hand. I got a little bit of a muscular ball that was happening here, a little bit of carpal tunnel. I was doing a lot of TRX, a lot of spin. It's a lot of grip. So it's just overuse. So be aware of that. Take a break when you need it. Make sure you stretch and recover. Drink tons of water. Don't point your toes too much. Keep your feet flat. Make sure you're not hyperextending. And you're using the right resistances. And the right resistance and cadence is super duper important. And I will be going over that with you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you enjoy my videos, my instructional videos, any of my videos, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notified. And I look forward to seeing you and teaching you some more next time. Thanks so much and have a great time spinning. I hope this has helped. Bye for now.